Edward? Hi.
Susan. Hi.
Good to see you.
You look beautiful, as always. You know that you were my first crush.
You were my first crush, too. Don't do this. He's too weak for you. The things you love about him now are the things you'll hate.
Talk about your inspiration for doing it. It's from a book called Tony and Susan.
It's from a book called Tony and Susan. And even though that, I hope, got your heart racing, the real center of the story is about finding people in your life that you love, that mean something to you, and not letting them go. This is a cautionary tale about what can happen to you when you do let those people go.
Jake Gyllenhaal plays a writer now who was married to Amy Adams, right?
Jake plays two characters. He plays a writer who was married to Amy Adams. She leaves him for someone else, and then she receives a manuscript after 20 years that is a novel that he's written, which is a very violent thing. And what he's really doing to her through this work of fiction is saying, this is what you did to me, this is how you made me feel.
There are some very harrowing sequences that are truly violent, and you don't stint from that. You do not run away from that.
No, it's important to the story. It's important because, again, that's how Amy's character, Susan, made this man feel. And so we as an audience have to feel that sort of that visceral pain and reaction.
You write, you're your own writer on these things. Is that your favorite part of the filmmaking process?
Writing is great because that's when it's in its most perfect form. You know, nothing bad's gone wrong. You've got the exact cast you wanted. It's all going perfectly. It's, you know, you're writing it, so it's in your head. It's perfect.
I really wanted to be this person that you thought I was.
When you love someone, you have to be careful with it. You might never get it again.
It's really three stories. It's the outer world, which is inhabited by Susan, who's this very wealthy art dealer, very powerful art dealer. There's the inner world of this fictional novel that she's reading, which is more than just fiction, a message. And then there are the flashbacks that reading this novel, you know, she starts to remember her past and remember her relationship with this man. But the three things are quite interlinked. There's a reason, and they start to spiral into one at the end. Film is forever. I mean, it really is forever. If you're someone who has a story to tell or something to say, and you love to design things, you know, the ultimate design is to design people's lives, whether they live, whether they die, what they do, what happens, what, you know, and it lives forever. You know, it always amazes me. I watch so many old films constantly, and, you know, you're watching films from the early 30s, and literally everyone involved with that film is gone, but you're crying and you're emoting with these people. It is the most permanent art form that we have in terms of the power to speak to people.
My ex-husband used to call me a nocturnal animal.
I didn't know you had an ex-husband.
I've been thinking about him a lot lately.
I cast Amy because I wanted this character to be sympathetic. On the surface, this would be a character that would be very easy to dislike. Amy has a quality in her eyes that is so soulful. I don't think you can help but feel for Amy. And she's a terrific actress in that she can telegraph her thoughts. And part of the story she's reading, but yet we see in her face what she's feeling.